London is a very unique and cultural city. Walking the streets, you'll find many lovely sights of historical worth and modern supremacy.
The people of London are also very unique. They share a language with us that they make slightly different with their own slang words. Some examples of these slang words are calling a man or a boy bloke, and instead of saying french fries, they say chips.
One of the most cultural places in London is the West End Theatre District. It is the center of the great contemporary lords of the theatre, such as Cameron Mackintosh and Andrew Lloyd Webber, and home to many past writers like Shakespeare. This is where the performing arts are appreciated and admired. One of the central points of interest would be the Globe Theatre, made famous by the genius William Shakespeare himself. In this notably round theatre, such inspiring plays like Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet were performed. Now it is a haven for current shows as well as being a historical gem.
Also on your excursion, take a stop at the Drury Lane Theatre. Though simply a beautiful theatre on the outside, inside dwells the famous Drury Lane ghost. Said to once have been a constant attendee to the performances there, it is said he attends shows destined to have long runs. Owners of the theatre actually pay exorcists not to exorcise him due to the declared good luck he brings.
The food in London is a big part of their culture. Tea is very important to them, and they have tea time every day. They have many traditional British foods such as fish and chips, which is fried fish and french fries. They also have black pudding, which you may think is a dessert, but is actually a black sausage made of pig fat and skin.
There are many historical sites in London. One of the most historical is Big Ben and the House of Parliament. Many people mistake Big Ben to be the entire tower, but really it is the bell inside. If you're a resident of the UK, you can actually climb the clock tower, which was named after Sir Benjamin Hall, a politician of the time. It's 9 foot in diameter and 7 foot 6 inches high and weighs 13 tons. Its first chime was rung on May 31st, 1859, and is also the world's biggest four-phase chiming clock. Parliament is open to all members of the UK public and overseas visitors. You can watch laws being made or attend debates and committees.
The Tower of London, an ancient fortress standing on the banks of the River Thames, has been used as a royal palace, fortress, prison, arsenal, and a jewel house. If you're around later in the night, you can witness the ceremony of the keys. This is when the beefeaters lock the tower gates and the keys are ceremoniously locked away in the Queen's house. The biggest draw card is for visitors to visit the beautiful crown jewels. The Jewel Room holds some of the world's largest and most historic diamonds.
Hyde Park is a wonderful place to walk around. It covers 340 acres and is London's largest royal park. You can also walk across the Marble Arch to the Museum District. Speaker's Corner is at the Marble Arch end of the park, where speakers meet every Sunday to speak their mind on political, religious, or cultural views. This tradition has been occurring since 1872, and you're allowed to speak on any subject you want.
John Nash converted the original Buckingham House into a palace, now known as Buckingham Palace. It was originally converted for George IV, but he died before work was complete, so Queen Victoria was the first monarch to live at the palace. The palace is currently home to Queen Elizabeth II and her family. It is most famous for the changing of the guards.
The Abbey itself of Westminster Abbey is at the heart of the nation's life, with nearly all coronations, royal funerals, and weddings taking place here. Make sure to stop by Poets Corner, located in the South Transept. It commemorates famous authors such as Shakespeare, Milton, Dickens, and many others.
World War II began in 1939, and soon after, Britain found a new and inspiring leader, Winston Churchill. Churchill led the nation during its finest hour. You can visit Churchill's private home, Chartwell, in Kent, and the underground cabinet war room is in London, where he wrote out parts of World War II. From the time the Germans took France, Britain stood alone against Hitler.
The evacuation of Dunkirk in 1940, the Blitz of London, and the Battle of Britain were dark hours for the British people, and Churchill is remembered for urging them to hold on to their courage. Once the British forces were joined by the American Allies, the tide finally turned, culminating in the D-Day invasion of German-occupied Normandy. These bloody events are still remembered by many with pride and nostalgia for the era when Britain was still a great world power.
The years following World War II brought many changes to England. Britain began to lose its grip on an empire, and the Labour government, which came into power in 1945, established a welfare state and brought profound social change to Britain.